Hello everyone, TheMagiBum here, and I'm going to be bringing you a scrim between Sentinel EC and Trident Esports. And seems that Sentinel has got a slightly different, roster at the moment. They still have Lord and Breeze, and I think Herpes was there too, but they've got a stand-in here in the form of January, and I think XEM is the new guy, although I'm not really sure. I'll have to check back on that. And Trident, they've got their what looks to be their standard group of people, except for Senior Constable Gan. I think that guy might be different, or maybe it's the same guy who's just got a different name. But anyway, looking at the first bands, we're seeing Leshrac, Gyrocopter, Wisp, and Queen of Pain. Very standard bands, and a Shadow Fiend coming as the first pickup for Sentinel. Very strong mid laner, very greedy in terms of farm. Requires a lot of stacking for the supports and a lot of protection from any aggressive mid laners or any rotations from the supports. So I'm sort of curious as to whether we're going to see like an Undying pick or
seconds remaining.
I don't know, Phantom Lancer. That's also another pretty strong hero.
Remaining.
Yeah, looks like we're getting to get into overtime from Trident Esports. And if I was to pick who's the better team, I'd probably say Trident is slightly favored. Sentinel obviously is a very strong team. My team has actually versed them a bunch of times, and well, a couple of times at least, and I think we've won one and lost one, so they're a very strong team. Oh, Bloodseeker is the first pick. So Bloodseeker's one of those heroes that does pretty well at zoning out, not zoning out necessarily, but stifling the Shadow Fiend's farm early game, just with his first skill, the Blood Rage, increasing his damage by 25%. Giving him that healing ability as well when he last hits, and him just having ridiculous base damage. He has like 60 base damage, or 61 or something like that, something ridiculous at level 1. So you couple that with the 25% extra damage, he's doing well over 70 damage. To a Shadow Fiend is doing 38 base damage. So it's almost no contest in terms of lasting ability for a Bloodseeker versus a Shadow Fiend. And the Winter Wyvern coming out too, so the Winter Wyvern's probably going to help with the tanking up of the Bloodseeker, because Bloodseeker's a pretty tanky hero to begin with, but he loses his tank ability as he has whenever he has Blood Rage on. So I guess having a Winter Wyvern to heal him up, or to help him out with Winter's Curse, can help this Bloodseeker survive in the combat. Because another problem with a Bloodseeker being melee hero is that Requiem of Souls is going to do a boatload of damage to any melee heroes that are trying to hit him. And also like the razors and stuff. So there's a lot of magical damage, and with the amplification of blood from Blood Rage, it's going to be hard to do a lot of stuff. And we're seeing the Earthshaker actually being picked up pretty early on. I thought Trident might want to ban that or pick it up earlier on, because it's a really good combination with Shadow Fiend. The Earthshaker doesn't really need that many levels in the early game, because all he really needs is Fissure. So he can sort of stay around the mid lane. They're on Dire, so he can sort of stay on the high ground of near mid lane and just stack the big camp and pretty safely do that and go back to mid lane and help out the Shadow Fiend, make sure he doesn't get jumped on by this Bloodseeker potentially. Although I've only seen one situation where Bloodseeker's actually managed to kill the Shadow Fiend, and he basically tower dived him. So Earthshaker are really good at punishing tower divers, just by stunning anyone who's under the tower and allowing Shadow Fiend to get out. So I wonder what's gonna. Oh, we're gonna see a Spirit Breaker ban. So they're really looking to get rid of any of these ganking type heroes, and we're seeing a Clockwork ban too. That's interesting because I guess they don't want to they just don't want to have to deal with the Clockwork bouncing people around like the melee hero Bloodseeker. Like Clockwork does really well against melee cores in general. And especially when the enemy has a range core such as a Shadow Fiend, you can sort of hit people from out of cogs and not have to worry about anything, whereas Bloodseeker sort of can't do anything if there's someone trapped inside cogs, except for his Blood Right, I believe it's called. Yeah, Blood Right. I was thinking Viper banned out too, so they're really putting a lot of eggs into the Shadow Fiend basket. And I can sort of see why. Like, he is a very important hero. If he can snowball early game, or at least get a significant advantage, he sort of snowballs as is with
10
his
seconds
ability to flash farm,
remaining.
his ridiculous base damage, not base damage, his ridiculous damage from Necromastery, and
remaining.
once he gets like enough levels, he's gonna start having Presence of the Dark Lord being maxed out with
Reserve
-6
time.
armor. A lot of these heroes don't actually. This hero doesn't. Winter Wyvern doesn't actually have a lot of armor to begin with, so you're gonna be looking at Winter Wyvern taking a lot of damage without Cold Embrace. So yeah, Viper's a good hero to lane against Shadow Fiend as well, just because he does well at last hitting, and also Mech Carrier, very tanky. And we're seeing another tanky hero with the Bristleback being banned out. I guess they just don't want to have to deal with Bristleback. They've got ways of dealing with him to a degree, with the Arctic Burn slowing enemies down, the Splinter Blast also having a bit of slow for it too, and the Winter's Curse, which is also pretty decent. But I guess they just don't want to deal with a super tanky core such as the Bristleback. And I'm not sure if this Bloodseeker is actually going to be in the safe lane or mid, and he
10
could actually be in like an
seconds
aggressive trial lane
remaining.
potentially. Especially with his Blood Rage, he's able to,
5
as long as he gets
seconds
last hits, he can
remaining.
tank through whatever harassment is coming through, and especially with an Earthshaker as well. But going in aggressive trial lane would make this Shadow Fiend very susceptible to any aggressive mid laner, such as a TA that's still in the pool, or I don't know, like I wonder what else does well against Shadow Fiend.
Templar Assassin.
Well, I guess I'm right. Yeah, pick a Templar Assassin to deal with the Shadow Fiend. So this is going to be a core carry Bloodseeker, I'm guessing. Either that or they're going to jungle him, which is a bit strange, but or put him in offlane, which is also a bit iffy. I'm not really too sure about that. I mean, he's a pretty tanky hero to begin with. He's got close to 600 HP, about 5 or 6 armor, I think, or maybe 4 armor. I don't know. He's got a decent amount of armor, decent amount of HP. And I believe his move speed is
10
like
seconds
just 300 or something like that. But he's tanky in that as long as he doesn't have Blood Rage on, then he's not going to really die, basically. And with the addition of Thirst, if any of the
Reserve time.
enemy heroes are a bit low on health, then he's going to get bonus move speed and be even faster than normal. And I'm liking this Templar Assassin pickup. It's going to be a very skill-based matchup with the Shadow Fiend against Templar Assassin, seeing who does well. And we're seeing a debatably defensive support with the Bane. A little defensive in that, like, you can Nightmare whoever's being jumped on, and the Bloodseeker can't do anything, the Templar Assassin can't do anything. The only person who can really do stuff is Winter Wyvern, and Winter Wyvern to actually do anything needs to actually hit Splinter Blast, which is not a particularly easy skill to land if there's no one around the slept target. So I do like this hero to a degree, but I feel like you need to sort of combo him with other heroes, and if you're comboing with the Earthshaker, then it's not that good. This could be an offlane Earthshaker, by the way, which means that you could still have like a Lina, Leshrac, or well, you can't have Leshrac because it's banned, but you can still have like a Lina or even a Mirana if needed. But we might be seeing a Mirana ban actually, just to not have to deal with that threat, because they could go with like an aggressive trialing with this sort of matchup. And it wouldn't be particularly good for the Shadow Fiend, but it really depends on whether they want to put their eggs into the Shadow Fiend basket or let him lose at the initial stages, but catch up with the jungle
10
camps.
seconds
And we're seeing
remaining.
Rubik picked up for Trident Esports.
5 seconds
I'm curious as
remaining.
to. I think it's a good hero against Bane, no doubt. Earthshaker also has some really good spells to steal with the Echo Slam or the Fissure. Requiem of Souls also a pretty good spell to steal, pretty easy to steal too. So like, well, Bane and Shadow Fiend pretty easy to steal spells off them, because Bane obviously is in a single spot and can't do anything while he's gripping someone. Sleep is also good. Brain Sap is a ridiculous nuke. It's 300 pure damage. Like, not very many heroes do that much damage, and also it heals for the same amount. So healing for 300 health is amazing. Damaging for 300 health is pretty good. I think the only thing that's better than that is
remaining.
I think it's the
5
heal from
seconds
Omni Knight, which
remaining.
is AoE as well, and I think it's a little bit more damage too, but it's really hard to get whereas this is just you just click on someone.
Ban.
And I'm seeing Centaur War on it, so this is going to help with the disengage against Templar Assassin, but it doesn't do very well against Bloodseeker. I guess it does well in terms of letting the team come and help out whoever's ruptured, but the ruptured target just can't run away. That's sort of the issue with Rupture. You can run away if you want to, but it's going to be pretty hard. And I like this PL ban. Maybe not so much from the side of Trident Esports, because they do have ways of dealing with him. like with the Winter Wyvern's Winter Curse, you can sort of, if you have him by himself, you can always ult him. Bloodseeker can obviously kill a lot of his all the illusions with Bloodright, and Templar Assassin with his side blades. And we're seeing a Darkseer pick up, so they may be trying to go aggressive with this, although I don't like it with the Rubik. But Darkseer does pretty well against Centaur Warrunner for the most part, so they may want to try and have a matchup where that's the case, and then they have, say, like a Bloodseeker, Winter Wyvern, Rubik tri-lane against a Bane, Earthshaker, and whatever carries going to come out here. Now, if I was to guess, I'd probably say they're going to pick up a Wraith King. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. So this is going to work well with Bane's sleep, because you sleep, then you get the Wraith King to walk right up to the enemy, stun him, get a couple of hits in, and hopefully get some crits and get a nice kill. So let's introduce the players. So right at the start on Radiant side, we've got Trident Esports with KQT on the support Rubik, Anonymous on the support Winter Wyvern. Offlane Darkseer is Mule. Teresa is the Bloodseeker carry, and Senior Constable Gan is the mid laner. On the side of the Dire, there's Sentinel for Sentinel Esports, or EC, I guess. We've got Zem on the mid lane, Shadow Fiend. We've got offlane Centaur being Herpes. Stand-in January on the support Bane with a couple of sentries too. Lord on the Earthshaker support, most likely going to be staying in the jungle a lot. And carry's going to be Breeze.
30 seconds to battle.
And I'm actually a little surprised that Breeze hasn't gone for, say, like a Mango, because especially against a Darkseer lane, he's going to have to require a lot of regen, and Mango sort of provides that mana and regen that he often wants. So it looks like the two mids are going to be getting the banner room, and both teams are going to see who's getting it. Oh, actually, no, they won't be. They have to give it to Shadowfiend, I think. Just makes it so much easier to get his bottle. He's already really close to his bottle now. Like basically one CS will get him his bottle now, which is pretty good. So yeah, this matchup is probably going to be pretty Templar Assassin favored. So Earthshaker is going to have to come in, or the Bane's going to have to come in with his Enfeeble to sort of help out things. And looks like there's a Observer Ward here. I'm not sure if it blocks. I think it does, because it needs to be further in this way. But if it doesn't, then he's going to get a perfect view of pull. So he does block the camp, and he actually stomps as well. So yeah, we're seeing Templar Assassin already getting a decent bit of damage in. And Darkseer is being zoned out a little bit. He's level 2 though already. So is the Centaur Warrunner. So both offlane is getting a decent amount. Here comes the pulls though. And this Earthshaker isn't actually around mid lane at the start. I guess he doesn't need to be at the very start, especially now that Shadowfiend has his bottle. Zem obviously getting his bottle really early on because he rushed it with the 2 Gigi branches. Going to be trying to do some harassment in mid lane. And it looks like they tried to jump on the Centaur Warrunner with Arctic Burn, I think. Yeah, but not enough to kill the super tanky Centaur Warrunner. And are we seeing a potential pull? No, it's very well done by Stand in January being able to deny that pull across from the Darkseer. Although the Creep Wave is inside the tower range, so this Darkseer is probably likely to get a lot of this experience. A lot of denies coming in though, so it's going to be good for him. But Bloodseeker's diving really heavily. This Centaur Warrunner almost dying. That's amazing. But yeah, this Bloodseeker doesn't really care so much. He's able to regen up pretty nicely, so it doesn't really bother him that he's losing all his HP. So if we look at the CS, Shadowfiend is actually ahead of the Templar Assassin. That's really amazing. I'm impressed by Zem's performance already, being able to secure that early game nicely. Helps that he got his bottle so early on. And we're seeing a smoke coming out from the Winter Wyvern. Was that really a intentional smoke? I don't think it could have been. And Templar Assassin's probably got his bottle out now. Yes, he does. Probably not going to get sniped, but this Darkseer's lane is pretty close to where he wants it to be, but another pull's going to come across and he's going to be in a bit of a sticky wicket. But is he going to get the pull across, or is the Bane going to try and defend against that? Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and start fighting against each other. And it looks like there's a Sentinel is going to be in a bit of trouble. Nope, is he going to get body blocked, or is he just going to be hit a bunch of times? And he's not going to die to that, but he's really close. And with the extra move speed, I think he's dead. Oh, no, he got hit by the stomp. That's unfortunate. He's able to salve up though, and he's going to get away. So that's nicely done by the Centaur, able to get that stomp off was it Breeze? No, Teresa, sorry. Teresa was able to
and first blood is drawn.
Darkseer goes up down top. Yeah, Teresa wasn't able to dodge the stomp from Herpes, but Breeze on the other hand is able to get the first blood, and that's going to really help him out. He's going to probably go for a Hand of Midas, I'm guessing, just to get those levels up, so once he gets to level 16 he can have his ult on cooldown almost every single time. I'm seeing Templar Assassin going to be stacking the Ancients. Very smart of Senior Constable Gown. Just because you can actually take Ancients very easily as a Templar Assassin. And we're seeing this Shadow Fiend getting really low on health, and he doesn't even get the rune, so... and this Bane is going to be in a bit of trouble too. It was only a boundary rune though, so he's not going to have to worry too much, and there's no Sonic Trap as well. Oh wow, I think this Bane might be in a bit of trouble. He has to sleep him, yeah. That's unfortunate. That's all his mana gone now, and a lot of his health too, so he's going to pop a Clarity, pop a Tango, and yeah, unfortunate. And it looks like Teresa's going to be tower diving again. Wow, very aggressive from Teresa here. I guess he or she, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a guy because most people who play Dota 2 are guys, or at least the majority of people who play Dota 2 are guys, so I'm going to assume it's a guy. But yeah, Teresa being really aggressive, probably exploiting the regen that Blood Rage gives, and is probably going to go for a Midas, if not just a quick Power Treads. I do like Power Treads on this hero, a little more than Phase Boost, just because you can tank up a little bit more and potentially survive long enough to get your Blood Rage going and heal up a little bit more. So yeah, there's two heroes on top of the CS board. Naturally going to be the Templar Assassin on the bout and the Bloodseeker. The Wraith King actually not doing amazingly well. The Darkseer is doing surprisingly well at denying experience. I think that's one of the issues with being a melee core against a Darkseer. You're always going to be struggling with dealing with harassment, and even with the Vampiric Aura, you're not able to regen enough per hit for what the Darkseer's damage is, unless you can keep the Darkseer's low on levels, but that's unfortunately not the case. And we're seeing a Sentry Ward coming out in the mid lane, although a bit awkwardly placed, I guess, to scout out any wards that are over there. But yeah, a good thing to place a Sentry Ward here, because any traps that are on the high ground, they both give vision and slow down the Shadow Fiend that's going on right now, actually. Is this going to be the death? Yeah, it is. And KQD actually getting the last hit on that with his Fade Bolt. And it looks like they're pinging out the Ancients. I guess Senior Constable Gan wanted to... Gan wanted to actually get this Ancient stacked, but we're seeing January rotating bottom, probably because Bloodseeker's being really aggressive and can probably be punished actually if I guess he's not careful. So looks like he's gonna start getting a bit aggressive, and this is the right time to get aggressive actually as the Centaur Warrunner. If you can double edge this target while he's got Blood Rage on, then he takes significantly more damage, which is good for you because you always take damage too. So if you're dealing more damage, then it's better. But like I said before, you're not going to be harassing down or whittling down a Bloodseeker because he just has so much regen with his Blood Rage. So yeah, Bane is level 3 with 2 points in Bane Zap. Gonna be maxing it out obviously to try and get some kills, and it looks like the Shadow Fiend went for a stack, I guess. And Templar Assassin was a bit too late to scout that out, but he's gonna scout that out in the future. But it looks like Bane is actually dead. One more hit? No, he's gonna get Nightmared. Oh, one more hit. Oh wow, the heal was enough. Although they can actually see him now. He's actually in vision because of Bloodseeker. And Bloodseeker's going to be moving really fast. Probably going to be trying to pick him off, I'm guessing. He does have his ult too, so he might actually just pop it for the sake of popping it. Yeah, he is. He's not going to kill him though. Yeah, he doesn't have mana for it, but he should have tried to heal through it actually with his Blood Rage, because I believe it heals for a lot more if you hit a hero. Yeah, if you hit with a hero, something with max health being high, and Bane has pretty good stats. To begin with, what is his stats? It's what can I click on? Yeah, 663. So like 25% of that is a pretty decent portion of Bloodseeker's HP. And while Bloodseeker was doing that, the Winter Wyvern's going to get a whole bunch of levels and some CS. Probably going to go for a Urn of Shadows or a Medallion. I do like that they changed the Medallion, adding the Solar Crests, especially good with negative armor, going well with the Templar Assassin, and Missed Chance as well for, say, the Shadow Fiend or the Wraith King. Can be doing really well. And we're seeing, instead of a Midas for Helm of Iron Will, this is also a good item because it gives you passive regen and builds naturally into an armlet, which most Wraith Kings do want. Templar Assassin is coming in here with a Haste Rune, and it looks like he's going to go for this Earthshaker. The Earthshaker does have a stun, and so does the Wraith King, so I don't know if this is a good idea, but the haste is still going, so... oh wow, it gets blown up, that's a bit unfortunate. And 2 raises coming in from the Shadow Fiend, and that's going to be a nice clean-up kill. I think Templar Assassin getting a bit too gung-ho with that. It is a bit risky, especially with 2 stunners, Bane rotating in, and the Shadow Fiend also TPing in too. So it's a good rotation from the Shadow Fiend. I'm seeing the Rubik now going for getting some levels. What was the Winter Wyvern doing? Oh, we're seeing Centaur Warrunner? Oh, he's going for the Bloodseeker. Wow, okay, that's cool. Seeing the kill on the Bloodseeker, that's a core Bloodseeker, by the way. If you can stifle his farm or stifle his ability to get kills, then he really doesn't do too much. And we're seeing Templar Assassins coming into this lane top. I guess he wanted to rotate to try and help the Bloodseeker, but too late, so he's just going to farm up Constable. And Bane is really close to level 6, halfway to level 6 now. After this creep wave and maybe one more, he'll be a little closer. But it's probably about 2 creep waves away. And once he gets that, it's going to be a very scary game for Trident Esports. But it looks like Bloodseeker is going to want to try and go on this with a really big range on Rupture. It's going to be very easy to pick off that hero. We're seeing a nice little crit coming out on the Wraith King. And yeah, he's going for the armlet. Very strong item, very cost efficient item. It doesn't cost a lot and gives you a lot of damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The Darkseid's been getting a lot of farm actually. The Centaur not so much. And seeing a stun coming out. So Bloodseeker doesn't really want to hang around a bit much longer. And actually stealing the rune off the Templar Assassin. I guess they were worried that it was going to get denied or something, but Region Rune top. Probably going to... Is Bane going to go for it? I don't know. Meanwhile, Wraith King nearly dying, but is going to survive. And something I didn't think about before actually is going for the armlet means a lot of times you're going to be really low on HP, which means Bloodseeker's actually going to have more and more HP, more and more damage and thing. And we're seeing grip coming out on Templar Assassin. And unfortunately the TP comes in way too late. And there's a level 6 on Winter Wyvern actually, so if he used that ultimate on Bane, then he could have actually potentially killed the Bane with the help of Templar Assassin and Shadow Fiend, because obviously Shadow Fiend is going to be hitting his own hero, and with 170 damage, that's pretty significant. 140 damage, I mean. Plus the Templar Assassin, which does upwards of 100 damage. Is the Bane, although a pretty tanky hero with nearly 900 HP and 6 armor. Not sure if he would survive that amount of damage, basically. So his Templar Assassin has died 2 times now, so, and hasn't got that many kills, so Senior Constable Gan is going to have to either farm this ancient stack or farm more passively and sort of be a little more careful. And I'm liking this change to put the Bloodseeker in the top lane, because Bloodseeker can just sort of like harass this Wraith King out, and the Wraith King's obviously already very scared because there's a that's odd. She used his blood drive for some reason. But yeah, standard build of maxing thirst. It's a really good skill, and you get a lot out of it in the early game just because you don't even need boots to have like close to max move speed. If some people are low, and you can see he's already like really close to. He's already at 400 move speed, which is helping with that Yasha basically. I'm seeing they're actually really close to Invis Rune with Wyvern can actually potentially scout out the Shadow Fiend, because Shadow Fiend's not mid. He's definitely got to be farming one of these 3 camps here. Oh, we're seeing a jump on this Wraith King actually, and he's just gonna sit there and tank and hit these guys. Oh, and a nice Winter Wyvern's curse coming in. Nice wall coming too. Echo Slam hitting on 2 heroes here. Bloodseeker is gonna survive this. He dodges the stomp. Shadow Fiend comes in though. He's gonna start hitting this Templar Assassin, but the refraction charge is gonna save him for a bit. And the Bloodseeker is gonna be chasing this hero down. Doesn't use his skill on the Templar Assassin though. He probably wants to do that so he can increase the Templar Assassin's damage. But there is a stomp on this Bloodseeker too. We're gonna see a dive coming in from Templar Assassin though. I guess they don't see him anymore because he's regened up with his stick in his other item there. I'm seeing a sleep coming in from Bane, and is Bane gonna actually kill this guy?
It's
oh no,
a
he's
killing
not.
spree!
And yeah, this is what I like to see, using a skill on other heroes, not just your own. Although that's making it Cine Constable again take a little more damage. Everyone's dodging that silence, but he can actually hang around. He really shouldn't. Yeah, like once what's called fissure into a couple of raises and Bloodseeker's dead. So good call by him to leave. Wraith King meanwhile is he popped his ult like last fight, but hasn't died yet. So he's in a bit of a spot of bother at this point in time, especially with a double damage Templar Assassin. Wow. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Is he actually going to so he dies by being a bit too greedy, not noticing the rotation coming in. Didn't have any wards there to scout out either, so it was gonna be hard to find that stuff out. But while everyone rotated top, bottom for started Trident, Sentinel was gonna try and go top. And we're seeing a blue dagger actually from Templar Assassin pretty early on, and the grip coming from the Bane, but the grip is not enough. And they get the kill on Templar Assassin, so that's something that's good. Like the Blink Dagger is going to be very inconsequential, basically. Oh, and he's getting fogged as well. Bloodseeker. And dodges the Requiem. Gonna TP out now. Smartest thing to do, really, so you don't get caught out. Wraith King stun. Being stolen by Rubik because it's the only skill that Wraith King has, really. But is Wraith King gonna kill this? Yeah, with the stomp and all these stuns. There's so many stuns coming out from Sentinel. Now that I think about it, there's 3 strength heroes in this enemy team in the side of Sentinel. So going for a Timbersaw might have been a better play than this Bloodseeker. I think it could have been a little better. Although even like say an Anti-Mage or a maybe not an Anti-Mage, but something which has some sort of mana burning capabilities, or something that builds Necrobook. But we're seeing potentially, they're seeing a Cloak coming out from Bane, so I'm probably going to go for a Glimmer Cape. Pretty strong with the Fiend's Grip, because you can Fiend's Grip after you Glimmer Cape and then they can't see you anymore. And I'm interested by this build actually, maxing out your Blood Right and putting 1 point on Blood Rage. I like to put 2 points on Blood Rage because that way you always have it. It's on a 10-second cooldown with a 10-second duration when it's on level 2. And that's sort of where I like it to be at most of the game. And then once I've maxed out all my other skills, I'll max that as well, because that way it goes down to 6-second cooldown on a 12-second duration. So you can use it on one of your allies as well and have it constantly up, basically. But
invisibility.
Has Sentinel got his blink yet? No, but he's really close to it, so potentially going to get it. Oh, and we're stealing Hoof Stomp. This is going to be a really good skill to steal, because 2.5 second stun at level 3. It's a decent stun. You can telekinesis into Stomp, and that's about like 4.5 seconds, give or take. Shadowfiend meanwhile going for S and Y, which I think is what Bloodseeker was going for too. There's Bloodseeker there. Yeah, it looks like he's going for he could be going for a BKB, but it could also be something else. And he's just going to heal up now. Not really healing up all that much, but enough that he can sort of hang around. And this is one of the issues with the armor, I think, is that you're going to be low on health a lot whenever you use it, because you tend to like just drain all your health, and that makes the Bloodseeker stronger. Oh, one of these guys has the Faceless Rex. That's cool. Oh, and it looks like, whoa, Blink being used as well. Wow. And Echo Slam being used on one hero. Sentinel War results being used as well, and
That's true domination.
Temple Assassin's really being shut down really hard, and he's actually going to buy back. Sinikan's going to be trying to hit these heroes, but a buyback being wasted on nothing now. That's really unfortunate, especially early on. Like you can see, this Temple Assassin has Blink and nothing else, and she started at like she had a really strong start at the start. Bloodseeker's still doing really well on CS. Able to keep up with a Shadowfiend, but Shadowfiend has been playing pretty cautiously lately, only really going into the jungle and playing pretty far behind. So yeah, we're seeing a BKB instead of the SMY. It looked like he was going for an SOY too, because he had the Ogre Club and got a Belt of Strength. Could be a Basher instead, but I do like SMY on this hero just because it tanks you up, makes you faster, makes you slow people down, which is better than straight up stunning people, because slowing people down allows them to run away, which makes them take more damage. I'm surprised by the not denying of the tower by Teresa. I was expecting something more. Blink taking on Wraith King now, so gonna be going for this AQT, but Hoof Stomp on 2 heroes now, and Wraith King is just gonna like sit here and tank this stuff. Keep right clicking and slow all of them down. But the thing is, Bloodseeker's got them all zoned out, so no one's going to be helping his Wraith King. Wraith King just has to run away. But it looks like, no, he's not going to be able to run away with the Arctic Burn on him. And, well, actually, he's slowly losing his HP, but he's able to blink out and TP out. Is he going to get stunned? No, he's not. And it looked like he was really close to being in range of Winter's Curse too. That would have stunned him and allowed them to actually kill that Wraith King twice. So, the fight going pretty well for Trident actually. That being said, like, I think Wraith King went a bit too far. He was all the way over here, when the rest of his team was sort of being zoned out back here. So there was a big area here where, like, where Sentinel just couldn't come, and because of that, Wraith King was zoned out and was hitting basically refraction charges of Temple Assassin when he wanted to be hitting through that. Probably not the best target to be going for the Temple Assassin. Maybe we could have gone for like Darkseer. Maybe not even Darkseer, maybe like a Wraith King or a Ruby. Oh, we're seeing they blinked into Winter's Curse. One of the major issues with that. We're seeing Group coming out from
There can't be some wicked display of skill.
Bane, but being telekinesis up before guys, and we're seeing BKB up on Bloodseeker, the second time being used actually, and he's going to kill the Wraith King for the second time now before he gets to survive. And Bloodseeker brought back and managed to get a double kill himself. Teresa making a good call there by buying back. It's still pretty early on, so the buyback didn't cost all that much. If we look at the fight recap, we can see that, yeah. Oh wait, Sentinel actually gained money. I guess Bloodseeker did have to buy back, and even though he got the kill, double kill wasn't enough to secure that extra gold. I guess with the reduction in gold that you get from buying back, Teresa wasn't able to capitalize on that double kill as much. But still worth it in my books. It's just the gold swing isn't particularly good. The experience gold swing is, but not the gold one. And I think QQT could have KQT, sorry, could have gotten the telekinesis off on the Bane a little earlier, unless there was a. No, there's no. Oh no, there is actually Glimmercape. So that might have been the issue actually. Couldn't see the Banes, I couldn't
Dire's
actually
bottom
telekinesis
tower
him.
is under
But managed to
attack.
telekinesis him at the very
Dire's
end.
structures
Seeing
are fortified.
Vijay coming out, blocking his own teammate, and he's getting a bit upset as you can see. Actually, that's the Rubik. The Rubik is talking about that. So it looks like a smoke is going to come out from Trident. Gonna see if they can. Gonna see if they can do anything.
Dire's
game.
bottom tower has fallen.
And Bloodseeker's going a different direction actually, so they're going to try and pincer them in. And do they see the that hero? Yeah, they do. So half damage coming out on this Shaker, almost dead already. Oh wow, Shadowking's also dead as well. And Wraith King, is he going to die too? He has his ultimate, but he's going to pop it for nothing almost. And Glimmer Cape was also used, so Glimmer Cape is going to be on cooldown for another 10 seconds. So they're going to have to be a little bit more careful. And Shadow Fiend buys back too, so there's a lot of buybacks coming out in this game. We're seeing a Talisman of Evasion. They might be turning this into a Halberd, I think. That could be an option, but okay, so yeah, Shadow Fiend isn't actually moving. That's a bit odd. But it looks like they're going to go for the dive. They still have grip, by the way, and Glimmer Cape is back off cooldown. So this blinking TA into the trees here, probably not the smartest move, but they're gonna find soon enough that there's no one inside the trees. Let me just get a drink of water. Oh, another cool thing is that Fisher's been stolen. Oh no, Wraith is gonna be going for this Rubik, but telekinesis is up. Oh no, he gets critted. Wow. Let me quickly check this out. Oh, okay. So looks like a BKB is going to be coming out for Templar Assassin next. Obviously makes sense. There's a lot of stuns coming out from the side of Sentinel. They've got the Wraith Fire Blast. They've got Earthshaker. They've got Centaur Warrunner. They've got Bane's Grip, although Bane technically can go through a BKB, but like the damage won't, the mana drain won't. You know what does Darkseer got? He's got a mech and mana boot, so maybe going for a Guardian Greaves, but I usually like to go for a blink first before doing that, and it looks like that's usually the spot where people put their
Radiant's
blink
middle
over.
tower is under attack.
And wait, that's so weird. Where the Temple Assassin that way? Bloodseeker's using his BKB very deliberately.
Is under attack.
He's down to 6 seconds now, which is unfortunate, but I guess they're winning team fights because of it, so it makes sense.
Dire's top tower
Yeah,
has fallen.
Templar Assassin's 1300 gold away from his BKB. You're gonna have to go for the
Dire's middle tower is under
finish off these
attack.
outer towers first before he's able to secure that gold. And no
Dire's
mobility
middle
items coming from
tower
Shadowfiend, so
has
he's just sort of
fallen.
building himself as like a tank, getting a SNY for the HP, getting Talisman Evasion for the evasion, obviously. And looks like they're gonna go for Roche. Yeah, they're pinging Roche out, but so is Earthshaker. So it looks like they're gonna be starting to go into this
Radiant's
Roche
bottom
build.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, Lord Imbergus is going to be looking to try and do something. He hasn't got Blink Taker yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now they see the Earthshaker here. That's a really good trap placement, and they're going to actually. Are they going to back off or are they going to go aggressive? I think there's a bit of miscommunication there. Oh, blinking Centaur
Radiant's
Warrunner.
bottom
They don't
tower
see him
is
though.
under attack.
Although, like, it would be nice to put a trap here as well, so you can see the whole pit. Especially if you're level 15. Yeah, you've got like 8 traps, so like obviously you can afford to have lots of traps in there if you want. So they're just sort of grouping up in the jungle. Breeze is going to be farming the Ancients. They're going to stick around Roche because Roche is a point of contention. Now Templar Assassin can actually take it by herself if she wants to. She's actually waiting for a rune. If it's double damage, no, it's not. If it was double damage, then you could guarantee that she's going for the Roche by herself, and the rest of the team is going to be looking after her. And we're seeing Guardian Greaves first, so like I sort of like this item, sort of, I guess. I'm not big on it really, like, because the biggest reason for getting it really is the lack of mana cost, which Darkseer doesn't really need mana per se, especially when he's already got mana boots. And the cooldown reduction. Oh, we're seeing Bloodseeker coming in, using his ult on Sentinel, and Grip is being used on is being used, but it's going to be instantly cancelled by Winter Wyvern. Really well played by him, and stealing Sentinel ult as well. But Bloodseeker's actually dead. I don't think he actually got his BKB off.
Dire's middle tower is under
I think he might have just gone gripped and then died. But looks like Winter Wyvern's going to be trying to run away, but SMY is going to be really fast. And
Dire's
actually,
middle tower is under attack.
going to get out? I don't think so. Like, you cannot get out of it. Wait, he blinked that way? Okay, I guess he's going for the harder kill rather than the easy kill. Oh, you're getting juked too. Oh wow. And the Gunning Brew is coming out too, so that's going to help out with mana and the health problems. And they're going to get out actually, that's surprising. And even the Templar Assassin is like, he's in a bad spot, but I'm not really sure about that. And yeah, like I said, it could be a Halberd just because he's already got an S and Y from Zen. So you can actually just have a Yasha and a Sanj and Talisman forming a Halberd, and you can use that at the start, but obviously the better item is going to be the Butterfly. And we're seeing Winter Wyvern jumping in really aggressively, and Darkseer actually getting stunned. He's not able to get his combo off, and Wraith King is actually going to die, stuck between a wall and a hard place. And Shadow King is actually not dead yet. Wow, that's surprising. And Bloodseeker is actually going to come in, but he's not going to get much done really. And I'm actually surprised by this. I thought they should be going for this Shadow Fiend because they can probably actually kill him. January's in a lot of trouble here and doesn't have any mana for anything. Doesn't even have mana for Glimmer Cape. He's going to buy out and get out of there. And Shadow Fiend is actually able to get out of there somehow. And very strangely, not finishing off a Butterfly, but instead going for a Ultimate Orb. Probably going to go for a Skadi next, being to tank up and slow down heroes even more rather than just counting on the main from Sanj and Yasha. But yeah, it makes him tankier, increasing his stats by a little bit, but it's a very cost inefficient item, so he's not going to see a lot of return on that item immediately. But as soon as he finishes it, he'll be good. Meanwhile, double damage on Templar Assassin. If the Shadow Fiend had gone for this camp here, would have been dead, but he's going to play the safer route, especially since his team is not all alive. There's no Stampede to get him out of that situation. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker's in a bit of danger, getting perma-stun and BKB, and just going to walk away. Oh no, but Sentinel War on his ult is coming in, but they picked the wrong direction, unfortunately. Now, no Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, so he's not able to find a pick, but he's silenced as well. And Sentinel War is actually being ruptured, and they steal Sentinel ult as well. That's unfortunate. It's really hard to actually not steal Stampede, because the moment they use it, and like you disengage before he's able to do anything, the only other spells he can use is Hoof Stomp really, because double edge, what you're going to take more damage and use it on creeps. But crit coming out on the Templar Assassin, but Wraith King's just sort of sitting here, running around in circles, not really accomplishing much, and getting stuck inside Winter's Curse too. His ultimate is up, so he can still do stuff, but he's going to die twice, I think. I don't see him getting out of this alive, really. He does have a blink though, so if Darkseer needs to stay closer. He's going to be able to blink out soon. Yeah, he's out. And Sentinel Warren actually is back, able to get the kill on the Winter Wyvern before dying. Not really worth it, but I guess it is because he's able to save the Wraith King. And Wraith King actually had the buff on from the Bloodseeker, the Blood Rage. That's interesting. Meanwhile, Bane bought 3 smokes. Wow, they're really saving up the smokes here. How many smokes do they have? They have none. So Bane has all the smokes basically. I really hope they're going to use it at some point. They have got a pretty good ganking lineup with the Sentinel, the Earthshaker, and the Bane. Maybe not so much damage per se, but if they have the Wraith King and the Shadow Fiend there, then that's all the damage they need really. So Darkseer just farming up the top lane, probably going to get a Blink Dagger now. I imagine just because it's a good item. I mean, the only other item I can think of is Glimmer Cape, but it's very cost mana inefficient, so like it's a sort of item you get after blink if anything. Sort of saving up money, probably gonna go for Shivas actually, because actually there's a Skadi coming out, so that's probably gonna be for the Bloodseeker, I'm guessing. Yeah, because Templar Assassin's going for, he's got already got a BKB and going for a Desolator, I think. So Bloodseeker has got nothing. So still needs 1,200 gold for the was it Point Booster? Yeah, Point Booster. So probably gonna go into the enemy jungle, which is completely cleared out. But it's gonna be spawning right now, and he's gonna look for that, what is it, 300 gold that he needs. Gonna get 2 CS early. Probably gonna sell like his poor man shield and pick up his item. No, he's not. He's just gonna go for a bounty rune that's been taken by the Templar Assassin, and he's gonna ask for the CS. It looks like to finish up his Skadi. Seeing a lot of S and Y into Skadi builds coming out. I used to like theorycraft with this this build like long ago back in the beta, and this was back when like Skadi was a non-factor item. It was super expensive. It was almost never bought up by anyone, and the way I saw it was like what's it called? You can like proc. I think back then maim was actually a modifier. So what'll happen is it'll proc whenever you didn't have Skadi on. So what you do is you'd maim someone, and then if you didn't, you'd be slowing them regardless. So the slow was pretty amazing. And it was a pretty good item on melee heroes. I think S and Y is the same regardless of whether you're melee or range, but back then it wasn't. So yeah. Meanwhile, taking top tower, trying securing map control. Shadow Fiend obviously needs map control if he wants to be able to farm as fast as he wants to. He has enough money for a second ultimate orb, but I think he's being scouted out. Yeah, he is. There's a ward scouting him out, so they're all congregating now. Either going to go for mid tower or going for Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend sees what's going on. They see the rotations, and they're just going to back off. So Skadi, S&Y, BKB, somewhat defensive items, but very useful on a hero that needs to be tanky. And with 17 armor and almost 3k HP, he's not going to die for a while. All he needs now is like say a what, an MKB and AC, and then he's 6 slotted and complete. Of course, he could go for like a crit or something like that, but he doesn't even MKB, and so does Templar Assassin, because especially with this Talisman of Evasion, and we could be seeing some evasion from Wraith if he decides to go for a maiming, what is it called, disarming item, halberd. And it looks like Blink Dagger's out for the Earthshaker. Oh, excuse me. Really tired for some reason. Invis Rune coming out from Shadow Fiend, maybe looking to Requiem people, and Sentinel actually not able to get that many towers. Seeing a jump up on the Shadow Fiend, and with the Blood Rage being maxed now, I think, yeah, maxed, and the negative armor too. That's almost half of his HP in one go, which is pretty amazing. So they're just going to do like a slow siege. It looks like they're going to push down bottom, push down mid. 4 staff on Rubik, pretty important. Glimmer Cape now, and Blink Dagger as well on Winter Wyvern. This is a really good item to secure your Winter's Curse at the right time, so you can sort of hang back a bit and not get stunned or otherwise kited. I'll push back, and I wonder, is there a Sentry Ward in mid lane? Or do they have a gem? Oh nice, they stole Fissure. That's good. So the Sentry Ward up here, very smart, so stop any wards from being put on the high ground. Another ward here too. And Shadow Fiend's still within this room. They don't see any Sentry Wards here. And they're just going to disengage. Bloodseeker, however, still hanging about. Maybe getting caught out. Really tanky though, so not the ideal target. The BKB comes out, that's nice. So look at how tanky he is, he doesn't die. And with the blood rate on all 3, oh my god. Chaos Dunk on 3 heroes. Wraithing coming in to bop these fools. Telekinesis, and no one dying on Sentinel just yet. And Darkseid is able to surge and vindicate away. They get vindicated by the Winter Wyvern. And Red King dying once, but now with the buff on Templar Assassin, 800 damage. That's amazing. Which just with his the negative armor thing. And I believe that it even increases the meld damage, because the meld doesn't do 200 damage, it does like 280 I think. So very strong skill. The Blood Rage works really well with Darkseid. With Templar Assassin, sorry. And with the Desolator, it's going to be looking good for this.
That's true, domination.
What can I say about this? They're just sort of like walking into this now. The vacuum is really good. Put them on the other side of that. Fissure actually working against him in that sense. And that's a good blood right by the way. Does a lot of damage with the increase in blood rage.
Dire's middle barracks have fallen.
So yeah, this is pretty much GG. I think Trident playing very well. I expected them to win, but it was a really close game. I think they made a few mistakes in the other game, but they were still able to capitalize on it because they were able to go for the right objectives. Now it's not over yet because they haven't GG. Okay, what's it called? Lord Ember's gonna. What's it called? Yeah, Inglewood? Yeah, Inglewood, sorry. It's gonna GG. So, good game well played. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Just using this as practice for now, but yeah, also a bit tired because it's got work tomorrow pretty early on. So yeah, Trident Esports victory. Well played by them. I think the Senior Constable Gan was a bit rambunctious this game, but Winter Wyvern securing, getting some really good ults off, and Bloodseeker getting a really high kill death ratio as well. Not really dying all that much, building himself as a tank as they needed because there wasn't really much of a tank in their lineup, and able to secure a lot of kills. Shadowfiend just not able to get the CS that he needed or that he wanted really. Sort of got pushed out of lane. Wraith King, interesting pickup. I liked it, but it sort of was a bit lackluster. I think him dying a bit too early on at the start, and also being up against a Darkseid lane, sort of made it so he didn't have particularly free CS. I think going for a Midas might have been a better choice because he could have gotten items faster, I guess, or at least more levels faster, and maybe done better in those fights. But anyway, that's it for me. TheMagiBum casting this game. I'll upload this on my YouTube channel so you guys can see it, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.